Hi everyone, it's Di here from Di's Den, and I'm actually just doing a little information video here because I liked this Give It a Whirl die set, but it's designed for the US sizing, and which means that they're a little bit wider and a little bit shorter than the European and Australian sizing. So I thought, you know what, I want to be able to use it on our paper, our card size, without having to, like I did here, add these borders on here, because this has got a stitched edge around it, and when you cut it, okay, it puts the hole in the center and all of that, but it's too wide unless you're going to do really narrow underneath, like layers, but it's too short. And unless you're going to cut your card down, or you're going to put it up higher and put something really big at the bottom, to me it's not right. So this was my first one using the die as it is, using the frogs from quite a few years back. I did this as a top opening card. Don't get me wrong, I like the card, there's nothing wrong with it. I just don't like the sizing. So that was that one. So then I set about doing one in Australian size. Now I did mine side opening, and I did it with the Australian layering sizes, and it worked. So I'm going to show you what I did to get it like that. You don't get your stitched border, unfortunately, but because it's not there, you don't even know that it shouldn't have been there in the first place. So I've done most of the card because this, as I say, is an information video, and I'm using all retired products because I'm just here to show you how this all works. So I've actually cut myself out a 1 1/4 inch circle from a bit of scrap that I had, and I've actually cut out and stamped this circle piece here. Now if you've never used this set, when you cut it out, you'll notice that it leaves marks here so that you know which section, when you put this on, what's going to show in each section. Okay, so, and if you're stamping, you're saying make sure you stamp it that way around, not that way around, because otherwise it's going to be upside down. Okay, so you've got to make sure you stamp it with the saying at the top of the page, at the top of the circle. Now I'm going to be using this die. I don't know if anybody's seen this set or who hasn't seen this set, but you get a variety of pieces in here. You can get a circle, a heart-shaped one, and one that looks like a normal just box shape. And that one I think would be really hard because you'd have to make sure that you got everything inside that really. So that's the best way to find out which one you want, is to cut this piece out and then put your different ones on the top and see what you're going to put in it, whether it will work or not. The circle works really well, but again you do have to watch what size you are actually putting your stamped area with that. The heart-shaped one, I've never even pulled that off of there before. That one would work really well as well. So I think you could do that one really quite well, depending on what you're doing. But for me, I'm going to use this one today because I'm just doing it to show you. So you get all these pieces, including this wheel, and this is the base of the card piece. So for me, what I do is I cut my layers. Now this layer here is 5 5/8 by 3 7/8, which will go on the front of my card like so. This piece is the next size down, which is 5 3/8 by 3 5/8, which will go on the top there. So we know that this has to sit close to that edge here. otherwise it won't work. So we pop this on here like we would normally, and just with a pencil we're just going to draw around that area there like so. So you know where you are going to cut your piece out. You're then going to, and I should have brought my board over, I'll just go and grab that. You're going to need your pricking mat, which I forgot to bring over, and with that lined up on there like so, you're just going to make sure that it's nice and even top and bottom, and it will be off of the edge on this side. So you can just hold that down, and you're going to use something to prick a hole through that hole in the middle there, so you know where you're going to pop that. And once you've done that, you can then lift it up and make a nice hole in the middle. And then while you've got your pricking tool, roughly in the middle of this circle, you're going to put another one. Now this is a, as I said, 1 1/4 inch circle. This is just optional, but this is the way I do it. Now that I've done that, I will have to do this off of camera because I don't have, I'm not going to pull my Big Shot into the picture because it's just too heavy. So I'm going to lay this on top of here like so, and that hole is going to be in the center of that hole there, and I'm going to stick that down with my trusty piece of post-it note, and I'm going to just run that through my machine, my cutting machine. Any brand will do, I'm not fussed which brand you use, and making sure that you've got that where you want it. I mean, you could have that on the side here, down the bottom. You can't have it this side because it will be in the way of this, but whichever way you want it other than that. So there's no right or wrong with that part. So now you've done that, you're going to bring back in your 1 1/4 inch circle punch and line it up with the holes that with the pencil mark you've made, and chop that piece out like so. Now you know that you've got your hole there the same as what it would be on this piece here, like so. And we know that that's going to line up with that so that it will actually roll around there. Now it's tight, but it does fit. Where's my hole? There's my hole. It is tight, it's very close on this edge, but it does fit, and that's all that matters. So now we've done that, I'll just move them out of the way. I will show you how I put mine together. First of all, I'm going to glue my base down, and because I don't need to use my base but anything else, so I will lay my base card onto the card front like so, and then I'm going to get my little brad and I'm going to pop it through that hole in the center there. Oh, if I can get it through the hole. I'm more fingers and thumbs today. And then through the center of my wheel, and then through the center of my piece that I put on the back. The reason I put that piece on the back is it helps it to move a little bit easier. Okay, so now I'm going to use my dimensions, and I'm going to use little ones on this piece here. I'm just going to put 4 little ones on this piece of card, this little circle. Whoops, like so. And see how that's going to move around. This piece is not going to move at all, so that's why it doesn't matter if it's close to those or not. With this one, we're going to pop one in the top corner here and here, and then I'm going to use some of these strip bits like this for along, I don't know who that is outside, the bottom here, and then up the sides here I can put 2, and 2 on this side here as well. Now I can put a little bit in here, so I'll use a bit more of this edging bit because I can actually turn that around. If you've got the strips, you can actually use the strips, so that will give it all the strength it needs there, like so. So that it will sit onto the front of our card like this. So let's pull all these backings off. And then we can place this into within the borders of our other card piece, like so, making sure it's nice and even, and our thing will go round just perfectly like that. So I'm just going to finish off this card pretty quickly for you so you can see what it looks like finished. Use a small one down there. I've got a happy birthday here. Let's pop a couple of dimensions on that. It didn't come off. So I'll pop my happy birthday just here, and then I've just got a couple of these smaller sweets that I cut out of this set. This is an old set as well, but I just thought it was nice to be able to show you how it worked and that I was happy with my results. Oh, come off. So just pop my sweets on the bottom of my card like so, and that's my card, and it turns just perfectly. So I've got sweets and more sweets and the word sweets for you and happy birthday, and I put inside just sweets for you. I didn't colour these ones down here, but that's just it. It's just to show you that it will fit onto an A4 card if you just move that over as far as you can, so you get the edge instead of this edge. You won't get this, as I say, you won't get this stitched edge, but you still get your card and it still looks really, really great, and I'm really happy with the way that's turned out. So I hope that's helped you if you've been thinking maybe I'll get that, but you were worried about it being American sizing or US sizing against European and Australian sizing. So that's what I did to get around it. I hope that's given you some food for thought, and if you would like to purchase this set from me and you live in Australia, please give me a call and I'll be able to give you a hand with your order. Thanks a lot. Bye for now.